Hello Internet, and welcome to the YieldTomato gaming channel, where I haven't done a pickups video in like forever, so I've got like a lot of stuff, in part because I was playing video games, among going to work, the things that we have to do in life. So, let's get right into it with a game I wasn't planning on getting right away, but it was half off, so I did. Yokai Watch 2? Was that Psychic Spectres? Developed by Level 5, who is best known for their work on the Dragon Quest VIII and onward, and all sorts of other good stuff from there. They also made the other Yokai Watch games. I heard a lot of mixed things, but some interesting ideas in the first one. So I figured, why not pick up the second one as well, which we did actually. We got the first one, actually, from a friend for Christmas. So I heard that this is actually the best version of 2 as well. So I was like, yeah, let's get the good one. Pokemon Syndrome, I like to call it, where they release 2, and then like a year later they make a third one that's the best of both. So got that one picked out. Next up, I'm going to go with a limited run title called Revenant Saga. Now this was released digitally a while ago, if I remember right, and this game was a very interesting mix from what I saw of its design elements. It utilizes 2D sprites for the overworld, and when you're in battle, it's full 3D renders of everything. So, like, that's actually a really neat stylistic choice, and it pulls what I would consider some of the best of both worlds in that way. You get the really detailed and neat 3D designing, but you also get to go with the classic and charming 16-bit design as well, and you're just doing a nice meld of them. So then the combat looked like it was traditional RPG fun, so I figured, why not pick it up? I mean, it was a fair price. Limited Run doesn't usually charge egregious prices, so went ahead with that one. This next one I should have got right away and didn't, and then luckily they did a restock on it, which made me really happy. And that is Lost Sphear on the Switch. My only gripe is that when I did get this from Square, there was spine damage on it right out of the package. And at first I thought it's just the case, I can replace the case, but no, this is actually on the artwork. Something in manufacturing happened, and there's like really aggressive wrinkles on the spine, like 4 or 5 of them, and it actually caused damage to the red on the spine and a little bit onto the front of the artwork. It's a little depressing because it looks like I don't take care of my damn games when I see shit like that, but I do. But I'm really excited to finally have this one. It's one of those things where it almost turned into, I'm gonna have to go to eBay for this. I should have got it right away. Luckily, they did a reprint. I was really happy with it. So yeah, another Switch game, and it's from Tokyo RPG Factory, which I will support, because I like classic RPGs. What can I say? Now, this next one here, another handheld. Man, it's a trippy game. Dementium 2. For the DS, this is a really interesting first-person shooter, or first-person horror game, I should say, for the DS. I played a nice few bits of the first one, and boy, it could have used use of the old duct tape mod from Doom 3, if you know what I mean. And this game pretty much added that, so that was really neat. I really like what they were able to do with the DS, and I really like the use of the touchscreen for, of course, the aiming of your gun and everything. So really cool. Really glad to have this one in the collection. I actually kind of want to get the other Renegade Kid games, at least the one Moon. It's another one I'm kind of looking for. It's basically the same thing, just in more sci-fi and less graphic horror. So that'd be neat to add. But as for now, I'm good with this. Now we're going to move on to a game that I've heard absolutely nothing really good about. It's mediocre across the board, I've heard. The setup is just garbage terrible. But it's classic horror reinvented, and I say that because this is The Ring, Terror's Realm. Um, yeah. So The Ring was about a VHS tape that would basically suck you into it or whatever, or the girl would come out and you'd be murdered in 7 days. Survival horror has entered a new realm. A deadly computer virus is killing humans. You have been infected and have 7 days to live unless you find the cure and stop the dreadful virus from spreading. Search for clues and unlock the deadly secrets that lie within 2 worlds. I don't know why I did that with an accent, but holy crap, that sounds stupid. It kind of reminds me of that terrible sci-fi horror movie. No, it's not even sci-fi, barely sci-fi, it's just horror. Called, what was it called? Oh my god. I don't remember the name of it. But the tagline was the dumbest thing. If you die in the game, you die for real. I can't remember the name of that movie. I kind of want to watch it because I think it looks like garbage and I want to watch it. It's one of those things where it's like, if you have a B-movie night, you should watch that one. But this kind of made me think of that. But it's a tank control horror game, which I love. I love those games because I love Resident Evil. So, nice little nod there for that. This next one is a launch title. And man, this thing got flame-basted when it came out. And that is Red Steel. I thought it was okay. And by okay, I mean, boy, this game has its problems. But I loved the idea behind it, and that's why I was on board for it. And it kind of almost bothered me, actually, that I went through the collection and realized I didn't have this, and I had the second one. So I saw it for $5 at a shop. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll add it. But I remember having some fun with it when because my friend actually got this at launch with his Wii and what was it, Twilight Princess. We got those, and then we got like $20 or more, maybe. I think we got it was $20 in the Nintendo points, and got I think Gunstar Heroes we digitally got, and I want to say we got Super Ninja Boy or something like that. I don't remember what all was there at launch, to be honest, but I just remember distinctly playing Gunstar Heroes and this game with him, whether it be at launch or near launch or whatever, and we had a blast with both. So even though this was a mediocre overall game, and we traded off, we didn't do the multiplayer, we were trading off for the story, which I remember nothing about, so that'll be fun to go through again later. Up next is one I just came across on a number of underappreciated and underrated things, which was Lost in Shadow, a Hudson Soft game, which Hudson no longer exists because Konami bought them, liquidated them, and do nothing with any of their properties, with the one exception being Bomberman, fairly recently. It's kind of I want to say it's a physics-based game, but it isn't. It's a lighting physics game, so you basically have to manipulate light on objects to change the shadows for you to progress, because you are just a shadow traveling across shadows. So it's a really interesting concept in that respect, and I thought it was intriguing. So I was like, yeah, I kind of want to play this one. So I picked it up, and oddly enough, I picked it up new. So there you go. The same time that I picked up Red Steel, I was thinking to myself, I've never played the Sam & Max games. I want to play the Sam & Max games. And I came across Sam & Max Season 2. I think it was like $10. I was like, you know what? I'm comfortable with that. I was kind of upset I couldn't find the first season, because I'm going to play them in the proper order when I do. But it's nice to, knock it out on the list and just add it to the collection, be done with it. Especially since now is a good time to be collecting for Wii anyway. Most of the Wii titles that aren't big name properties aren't fetching a huge amount of money. I say most, because there are a few exceptions. And so I figured, start paying closer attention to a lot of those things and start picking them up as I see them. So I was really excited to find that one. Next, a game that I thought I had and then I didn't. So I picked it up. The Thing for the PlayStation 2. If I remember right, John Carpenter actually was completely okay with this game and kind of like signed off on it, more or less. I don't remember terribly well, so you may need to correct me on that. It's technically a sequel to the movie, following up on the events of soldiers or whatever sent in to determine exactly what happened to all the other people and all that. And then, of course, the Thing is still out there. So, yeah, pretty interested in seeing how this plays out. God, it's been so long since I've seen anything on the original movie. So I probably should actually watch that before I play the game. But I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I added it to the collection. Figured, why not? I like horror games, and that's exactly what this seems like it is. Now this one I've overlooked a number of times because it's referred to as a shooter, and when I hear shooter, I think horizontal or vertical shooter, which I'm not a big fan of. But this is more of like a third-person air combat game, which I like air combat, so I picked it up when I came across it next, and that is Skygunner. Now, another indicator is that it's going to be decent, in most cases, is right down here in the corner. It says Atlas. I don't know why I didn't just buy it the first time I saw that, but I didn't. Because in most cases with Atlas games, I end up really, really liking them. It's just one of those things that has happened by circumstance. I'll try most Atlas games and really enjoy them. The only one I can say I've had some trouble with has been like Shin Megami Tensei 4. And that's primarily because I just don't like first-person dungeon combat where you don't actually see the actions of your party members. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I was spoiled by Final Fantasy's cinematic approach to it from the very beginning. But this looks super cutesy. It looked super good, actually. Really good graphics is what it looks like on the back. And it's a really kind of like a steampunk air fighting game. And I'm like, that actually seems really neat, and I kind of should get this. So I'm glad I finally did, because I like that stuff. My only complaint is that there's no, like, multiplayer of any kind. I feel like a game like this, where it's got, like, air combat, should have that in it. But that's just me. What do I know? Now we're going to get into some more modern stuff. We're looking at a nice handful of PS4 games. The first one is going to be Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Now, is it the best game out there? No. Is it the best Dragon Ball game out there? I mean, no. Dragon Ball FighterZ is out. And I don't have that, so sad day. All that being said, though, I really liked the first Xenoverse. I had a lot of fun with it. And Xenoverse 2, when I saw that it added the alternate histories and parallels and universes for like all the movies, I was like, oh, I'm getting trained by Bardock. I'm getting trained by future Gohan. It's a thing. So, yeah, I bought it. Actually, this was, I think we found this at a GameStop, and it was like a sale or something going on. Anyway, we got this for really cheap, and I was like totally happy with that because I didn't want to pay out the rear to get it. Unfortunately, all the day one DLC was used, but of course it was. Now, another game that actually we were waiting to drop in price and did was Akiba's Beat. This is kind of like a turn-based action RPG set in modern-day Japan. It's a follow-up to Akiba Strip, though that is just a run-around beat-em-up game. So I'm interested to see what elements are going to carry over from the previous to this one. No real history with it, just we like the art style, we like the bright colors, and we like that style of combat. And plus it's marvelous, and they've done some pretty good stuff. So figured why not pick it up. Now this one my wife really wanted to do, or get I should say, because it kind of has a somewhat slice of life feel to it. And that's Tokyo Xanadu. For me, I was interested because of the art style as well, but also when I saw Falcom. If I remember right, which I think I am, The Ys games are actually made by Falcom. I don't pay attention to all the developers. I'm sorry. And I really enjoyed those and figured, you know what? This would be a good one, I think. And then when I saw the slice of life kind of city adventure and exploration stuff, my wife really likes that kind of stuff in games. So this is actually one she wanted more than I did because of elements like that. So anyway, yeah. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. And it says additional PS4 system content, which makes me feel like this is a port of some kind. Or it's just an enhanced version that came out alongside a Vita version, but I didn't see a Vita version when I was looking around at the store. Anyway, I don't know. It looks interesting though. Now this next one here, I talked myself out of pre-ordering because I'm not a fighting game fan in a general sense. But when I had played fighting games, I really enjoyed Tekken. Tekken 3 is actually, I think, probably my favorite fighting game on the PS1. Followed, or right alongside very closely, to Ball number 1. I got this for $10 at a CD game exchange, and I was super happy with that. I've only installed it so far. Again, I'm not a very big fan of fighting games in general, because I'm not very good at them. And yeah, practice makes perfect, but I'd rather put my time into things like RPGs and such, because I really like RPGs. But I really love the absurdity and over-the-topness that tends to be involved with these, and the hit sparks and effects when you're doing your combos and stuff is really satisfying. So, I'm glad to finally have this added. It's the first Tekken game I've gotten in a while. And I should say, it's the first Tekken game I've gotten relatively close to launch. Now, this next one, and last one for the day, actually, is... Oh, man. It's gonna make people think I'm a pervert, and that's okay, though. Galgun 2. Oddly enough, my wife was more interested in this because she liked the idea of a kind of laxed shooting game. That and cute anime girls. Everyone likes cute anime girls. If you don't, you're a liar. What to say about this? It's bizarre, it's weird, it's super tropey, and all of that is perfectly okay. That's about all I've got. I don't even know the story behind it. I just know it's one of those Cupid things, and suddenly, oh, now all the girls can't get enough of you, and you have to, satisfy them to get them away from you. Just like Double Peace was. But I guess there's new mechanics in there that make this feel like a true sequel in a lot of regards to that. Because I guess in Japan it wasn't even really a sequel. It was like a spinoff of the others, because they keep going, making minor changes, but over here we skipped a few. And because it made enough changes, they decided just to brand it as 2. I think that's the way that went. Don't quote me on any of that. Anyway, those are the pickups for this one. I don't even know what number I'm on for pickups, honestly. But that's just more games added to the collection this year. What do you guys think of these games? Have you played any of them? What would you suggest based on what you've seen us get so far? I'm really interested to see what you guys might have to say. Honestly, I watch pickup videos and top 10 lists and top 20 lists all the time, just because I like seeing what other people get and see if they have things I don't that might still appeal to me. So by all means, share your thoughts if you like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all of our latest and greatest videos, from Let's Plays to more pickups and reviews in some cases as well. And if you want, check out one of our other videos. You might like that one as well. Should be in late here somewhere. Anyway, till next time, guys, we'll see ya.